right back, Charlie.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on. Yeah. Hey, that's a lie. People deluded, I'm back again. It was an iconic win at the Emirates as we beat Paris Saint-Germain 2-0. They said this team was going to rock up at the Emirates and do something. Get the hell out of here, man. You know what Saka does. He's shameless, but Saka scored a free kick. In my opinion, that free kick is the best free kick I've seen in my entire 29 years on this earth. Purely because of the angles. It was an acute angle. You know, the stats and the XG merchants will probably say the XG from there was relatively low, but the Starboy showed great mentality, people, against Paris Saint-Germain, who are no easy feat. Obviously, it's nice to see Kai Havertz get on the score sheet, and to be fair, don't downplay what was a fantastic team performance. The first half was blistering. You know, I know there's been injuries and there's been fatigue, and we've had to tweak minor ways of how we're playing, but for me, in that first 45 minutes, it was refreshing to see us get back to pressing high up the field. Now, credit to PSG, but that tells you that Arteta and the players, they back themselves, because as we know, PSG do have quality. They're littered with quality. Yes, they don't have Mbappe, Messi or Neymar anymore. Apologies, but they're littered with quality. So it was nice to see us press high. I think our build-up play from the back was great. I think our defenders, obviously Timber and Calafiori, will obviously, smash the like button, people. They'll take the plaudits. They were great. I'm pretty sure I saw Calafiori smoking a vape, but it's all cool. And to see him play right back, to see him inverting into midfield, like proper inverting, like right centre mid, left centre mid, to see what Timber was doing, it was absolutely amazing. Big up Gabriel and Saliba. David Raya didn't have much to do, but, his distribution was great. When called upon, Mr. Safe Hands did exactly what he needed to do. I think Trossard in the first half in particular, man, obviously Odegaard, that's his position, but he was giving Odegaard a run for his money, not just the assist for Kai Havertz, but some of the silky touches. If only Martinelli scored and made it 3-0, it would be even better. But we did well. Obviously, in the second half, as a fan, we probably absorbed more pressure than you would have liked. He's probably on the back foot a bit more than you would have liked. But I'm not being funny. It's Paris Saint-Germain. We know that they were going to hit back at times, and we're probably the best defensive team in the Prem and in world football currently. We said come and break us down, and they didn't do that. I do think you saw elements of fatigue summed up by actually Trossard, who was doing well in the first half. He wasn't doing bad in the second, but was giving the ball away cheaply. I wanted a bit more from Kivior. I do think social media fans are doing a bit too much. I think he was all right. He did what he could, but we keep it moving. And, 4 points from 2 games. They say you need 15 to 16 points to finish in the top 8 positions in the Champions League. Let's keep it going. We've started October, new month, new blessings as well, people, in the same way we left September. And as we know, off the top of my head, we've got, Preston in the League Cup. We've got Liverpool at home. We've got Bournemouth away. We've got Southampton on Saturday, in which I don't know how you lot feel, but I don't necessarily want a rotated side. Would love to see Mikel Merino start. He's our new signing. Would love to see Ethan start. I don't think we need to make 2, 3, 4 changes. If we do it and we win, I don't care. But we need to claim 3 points. City are not going to drop too many points this season, so we need to get 3 points. Don't let Southampton's form fool you. Don't let the fact that they can't buy a win fool you. Ramsdale's going to turn into a prime Casillas. Southampton seem to be a bogey team of ours, and it's always the quote-unquote winnable teams on paper is which we struggle with, like last week against Leicester. And to be fair, in the PSG game, that was one thing that was on my mind when it was 2-0. It's like, oh, I wonder if it's going to be a bit like Leicester. Because I'm not going to lie, big up you lot, that was part of my watch along. I said 3-1. I did think PSG would score naturally, but we did what we needed to do. I think Mendes is very good going forward, and he was probably their scariest player in the final third. But Kola, the man of the moment, in great form, did nothing. And yeah, man, it's nice to see. Obviously, it's unfortunate. We'll get into all of that stuff with Timber having to come off, but boy, this is the greed they speak about in the Bible and all religious books, to have Timber, Benjamin White, Calafiori, Tomiyasu, if and when he's fit. We've got some great defensive ranks, man. Big up yourself, eh? Shout out Zims, the second best Football Manager content creator now. Big him up. Make sure you're following him on Twitch. Martinelli has been scapegoated. Yes, I agree. He's been playing ish recently, but before he had to cover for Zinchenko, now we have Timber or Calafiori. Better relationships. I must admit, do want to see Mikel Merino move to the left-hand side, whether it's Timber or Calafiori, Martinelli, whoever, and him. I like Declan Rice in the 8. I don't think it's bad, but his bread and butter is the 6, man. I think Rice needs to go back to what got him all the England caps, become West Ham captain, got him signed for 100 million from Arsenal. You know, I would love to have 2 multifunctional players in which Arteta is gearing up Declan Rice to be that, as in you can play as an 8 and a 6. Moreno can play as an 8 and a 6. There might be games, both of you are 6s, both of you are 8s, and any other denomination of that, but I would want to see that. I must admit, where Martinelli's concerned, though, I hear you. His defense, both our wingers, their defensive work last week was amazing. Last night, apologies, was amazing. I do think with Martinelli, it's gone beyond that. Yes, having that centre mid, having that left back, having some stability there helps him. But Martinelli's, for me, he's still always done the right things. He's still put in a shift defensively. He's never hidden. It's just finishing in front of goal. Not so much yesterday. I would have loved for him to score against PSG yesterday. That was a great, well-taken volley. It would just be nice if you pull it either side, man. Martinelli needs to buck up his ideas, because reality is, you look through this team, Martinelli's still a key player. But you could reckon if a winger was coming in, they're not taking Saka's place. They're taking Martinelli's, or they're adding into the Trossards, the Martinelli's, the Sterlings for a year, potentially Gabriel Jesus out there. Kai Havertz is doing well up front. I want a striker, but it's not a guarantee if a striker walked in tomorrow, you're necessarily taking Kai's spot. So great performance, great day at the office, and big up Zims because you support Man United. That's how you put in a team performance at home, man. So yeah, man. I'm a happy man. I think every Arsenal fan is as well. And I don't think there's any complaints, man. It is what it is. Should we get into everything and see what Mikel Arteta and Co have had to say about the game and all the other fallout talking points? I love to read what the manager has said. He said on the 2 goals, on managing the game after the 2 goals in the first half, especially the way we played the first half and how determined and brave we were, the quality we showed again against this kind of opponent, and to be so dominant, score the 2 goals. Then we wanted that different second half, probably continue to be that dominant and with the ball to be more composed than we were. We could have been a lot more composed, I agree. We had 3 big chances to score the 3rd, which is true, and probably that would have killed the game. It didn't. Credit to them as well. The changes they made in the adaptation that they made, they forced us to play again in a different area of the pitch, and we had more problems after to continue to play the way we played in the first half, which is fact. On Kai Havertz, he said so powerful but as well so intelligent. Amen. I think people can mock Havertz. He's a very intelligent footballer. The way he occupies the spaces, the way he connects everything together. Probably just before he scored, he probably should have had an assist, because I'd prefer Kai to be in the box and someone else to do what he did. But he put in a lovely ball towards the back post, and I was wondering, where is our players? Nonetheless, people, he is right, man. His work ethic, and now he's around the box, and you have that feeling that he's going to score. The goal was superb. I think overall the performance was as good as from him. So really pleased. On why Timber came off, which is, again, only thing that puts a dampener on things. He was unbelievable in the first half, but he felt something muscular and he was uncertain, and I didn't want to take any risks. He's been out for a year. He's played a lot of minutes, probably more minutes than we wanted in the last few weeks, and we have to manage him, which is true. I think first thing, that's testament to Timber. Obviously, you've been playing well. Why not play you? Obviously, people, there's a lot to be said about Arsenal's fullback depth. And I think Arsenal fans are new to squad depth. We cry and waffle about wanting depth. We want depth. We want strength in numbers. We want ideally 2 players for every position. And when we get that, every player that isn't involved or has bad form or whatever, their days are numbered, like what you're probably seeing around Benjamin White. And actually, we've had injuries already throughout the whole squad. If there's one area we felt comfortable, it is our defensive ranks. But when you look at it, Calafiori's been playing with Knox. Timber's obviously coming back from an ACL and had a lot of minutes in the last month or so as well. Benjamin White's been known to play with Knox, and we've been able to rest him. Tomiyasu, great player. Him and fitness don't go together. It's a bit like chalk and cheese. Zinchenko, I'm not sure many people would want to see him. He is obviously injured as well. And Kivior came on. And as I said, I think people are doing a bit too much with Kivior. I think he did okay, man. I think he did okay. He's never going to be my cup of tea at fullback. He's never going to be my first choice left back or central defender. But keeping Kivior actually helped us, really, because had he have went, boy, I don't know what would have been said, but we hope Timber's all right. I don't know if this means, obviously, we've got a couple of days to recover. I don't know if this means he doesn't play against Southampton. If there is any risk, you hope Benjamin White and Calafiori are ready to go. I love Calafiori, man. I love him going forward. I love his defensive displays. As I said, I love him inverting properly into central midfield, not that kind of half space between Gabriel and Saliba. Like, he's actually a central midfielder. Did well at right back. Still think there's little things and pieces that could be improved in his game defensively. And as much as I like the fact that he's on it, he doesn't take any, pardon my language, shit from anyone. Probably needs to rein it in a bit. But Calafiori, it feels like he's been here forever. You just get it. Timber as well, to be fair. There was a time we would be happy with just one of Benjamin White, Timber, or Calafiori. Now we've got a lot. Mikel Arteta can sign 100 defenders, specifically fullbacks if he wants. And to be honest, I wouldn't rule out signing more. I don't know how long Tomiyasu's got. And the only reason I say that is obviously Tomiyasu's a quality player. But if you can't stay fit, it is irrelevant. I don't know if Zinchenko's moved on. I don't imagine you'll see Gabriel Jesus, Zinchenko, Tomiyasu, Kivior, and many other players all depart in one window, but that's something to consider. On whether it's too early to look at the Champions League table, as I say with the Premier League, I don't look at the league table personally, folks. It's too early. I think as well, everyone has to play a lot of different and difficult games, home and away. We have to adapt to that. Yeah, and the one thing I would say for Arsenal in the Premier League, it's the home games that scare me. Like with the Leicester game, away from home, I'm cool. In the Champions League, I reckon we can, whether we win or not, I reckon we can give anyone a game at the Emirates. It's when you start going away from home where there's troubles. You look at the away games to come. I could be wrong. I'm sure we play Girona in Spain now. Credit to Girona off the back of what they did last season. They obviously got into the Champions League. Haven't been at their blistering best, but that's going to be a tough test. Inter Milan, San Siro, anyone that understands football, I don't need to get into that. That's a very difficult game. I hope we come out of that strong. But also, what I think people are forgetting, Sporting Lisbon. The last two times in Sporting Lisbon and Porto that we've gone to in recent years, we haven't done well. So we need to do stuff. And for me, big up Monaco, shout to Shakhtar Donetsk. These kind of teams there, I'll be absolutely honest, you need to beat them. You need about 15 to 16 points. We've got 4 on the board. Let's go and confirm what we need to confirm in it. But he is right, man. We still don't know how many points we need. Arteta, you know how many points we need. Obviously, things could change. You know, you lot sat there probably in pre-season or at the beginning of the Champions League. You know, ideally, how many points wins you the Premier League or the target for that? How many points confirm you to the next round of the Champions League? You know, but fair enough. Has to play a bit of a white lie to us. I'm here for it, man. But he is right. It is too early. On the difference in jeopardy this season in the Champions League, what does he mean by that? I don't know. We all want to be at the very top to play less games and have the capacity to have better draws. It's going to be a long journey, I think. On Saka's confidence in our chances of success this campaign. The players feel that we're in the right direction and they believe in what we do. It's a great sign. It's a night to be really happy because we played one of the best teams in the world. To be able to perform and win the way we did, it's a really good sign for the team, which nobody can complain about that. On Merino's debut, don't think you can draw any conclusions. We need to allow him to get up to speed, but I think he made a couple of good tackles. Clearly doesn't look fully fit. Fair play. Really good because he joined us. And the first session, he got injured. He had only one session with us. He was ready. He was really willing to be part of this today. And obviously, with the injuries and changes we had to make, we believed that he was the player that could help us in that phase. I think he did really well. Big up Lewis Skelly as well, coming off the bench, man. I'm not going to lie, Arsenal, stop violating because, you know, Lewis Skelly, he's an Arsenal first team player now. And, you know, you've got his mum in the bleacher seats at the Emirates, you know. Bro, get the family, them wavy seats behind Mikel Arteta. What's going on? But yeah, I'm not going to read into this, but naturally beating a team of PSG's quality is a curtain, is a curtain raiser, is a statement, should give us confidence. But at the same time, it means nothing if you go and F around. You know, to beat PSG, to compete the last couple of times with City now, to have a great top 6 record on top of all the good things we've been doing, all of these things should give you confidence. But we can't be complacent, people. On Calafiori's role in the team, he has the capacity to occupy different spaces. I think yesterday was the first time we really saw that. He's really comfortable with that. He's already done that in Italy, and that's why we signed him. First of all, he's a great defender. He has this presence and energy and full commitment in the reaction that he does, and he's really brave. He doesn't care in those situations. He wants the ball. He wants to make things happen, and is happy to play in different roles. Don't think anyone's got any complaints with that, people. I think that's bang on the money, if I'm brutally honest. Big him up for that one, people. On Declan Rice's performances this season, they've picked up. He started very slow after the international break. I think he's gone up the gear. We all know he was playing catch up. I'm very happy. We have to understand the context of the games we played. For example, last Saturday when we played here, we was very dominant with the ball. I think you created one of the best starts that they were producing in the Premier League, whatever that means. But obviously, we played different contexts, and this player has got the capacity to play different games and still be very, very important for the team. Today, we used him as a 6 in the second half. It's a great quality that he has as well. He gives us so much. Arteta, you know more about ball than me, and we're doing great things. And I'm not one of them fans that's very upset about Declan Rice playing as an 8 or 6, because I think people get too hung up on technicalities. But can he just be a 6? Please, just bread and butter as a 6. Obviously, you look at Rodri. Rodri's job is to win the ball back, give it to the more creative players. But Rodri can, contributes in all phases of play for City. There's no reason Declan Rice can't do that, essentially, people. On what differences he notices in this team from last season to this season, bit early, but I sensed them differently yesterday as well. I would say that when we were preparing the game and how they wanted it, the level of focus, I think they wanted to prove a point tonight. And when you look at Saka's comments, I think that's right. Against a top team at home, be ourselves, be very dominant as well. It's another step. We have to continue to do that. On belief after beating big clubs. I mean, the only thing that would have been nicer is beating PSG is if somehow we had to play Real Madrid and we beat them. I'd be a lot more gassed, if I'm honest. He said, I think so. It creates special European nights against clubs. That's got to be the best European night in Mikel Arteta's managerial history so far. I don't think it's up there when we beat Barcelona or when we beat Bayern Munich. There might even be a couple of others, but it's definitely, to be fair, it probably is one of the top 5, maybe even top 3 Emirates era European victories. Can we just win the champs? I don't know about you lot, but I would sacrifice the Premier League for the champs. Not that we're in a position to do that. That belief is something that lifts the energy and the spirit of everybody. First of all, it's about believing you can face those incredible teams and have a really good chance to beat them, and you're good enough to beat them. I think it's going to be really helpful. On whether he was impressed with the level of control the team displayed, I did. The result as well at halftime was similar to a few days ago. Then what happened and managing that emotionally and staying in the game in the way that we had to do, I was really impressed and happy with that, even though there was still, especially in the second half, things that we can do better. There's always things we could do better. I'm not being funny. Apparently, Kudus was supporting Arsenal. That's probably banter. Kudus was at the Emirates. Now, why wouldn't you want to go and watch Arsenal versus PSG if you've got time off? West Ham are not in the Champions League. Kudus, get on the phone to your agent, get Declan Rice to speak to the manager, come and join us, come and be part of this. West Ham ain't got nothing for you, people. So yeah, Kai Havertz has also spoken, people, and he said, it just feels like home to me. It feels nice to play here. The atmosphere is great. The support is great. Sometimes when the game goes against you, all the supporters are important to us. We feel that a lot on the pitch. It helps me a lot and gives me a lot of confidence. And I'm proud of Kai in a nice way. You look a shadow of your former self. You've come a long way from them charity penalties against Bournemouth, that crap game from you in midfield against Fulham. You've come a long way, man. And nobody cares about your price tag. We can talk about needing a striker, but nobody can say Kai Havertz is not a good player for Arsenal Football Club. I can still improve. Every game I get 2 or 3 good chances, and I want to get better and score more goals. It's a good start to the season, and I can improve in a lot of aspects. I like that, people. He then went on to say, when you see the players we have on the ball, when they're outside, I'm tall. I like to take the space and help the team with those runs. Today, it worked quite well. And even the run from Kai Havertz as well. He's I'm sure, if I watch the game again, you gave it to Trossard. You made that run. Obviously, good relationships. Little and large connection. He's found you. Cash money in that regard. So fair enough. Today it worked well. We train a lot on it. When you have players around you like these, it's just a joy to play football. It's the start of the season and we can still be better. I think we're all looking forward to the next few weeks. I think we all enjoyed it today, especially in the first half. I think we're the better team, showed what we are capable of, and it was great to be out there. The atmosphere was nice and it was just a nice game to play in. It's a shame Martin Odegaard weren't about, but it is what it is in that regards, people. I think we've gone over this with Mikel Arteta, but no, I don't think we have. Well, he just said we could. Yeah, we have. We could just be a bit more dominant, which is great. Enrique said, I take the blame. I'm responsible for this. Arsenal were much better in terms of intensity and pressure. They won every duel. Before the game, he said we're one of the best, if not the best team in Europe off the ball. I don't think his players took heed of that, if I'm honest with you. I do think PSG, if they persist with him, can do something. Saka's goal versus PSG was the first direct free kick Arsenal scored in the Champions League since Henry scored one versus Roma in November 2002. We've played 143 games in the competition in that time. I mean, terrible keeping and defending, better yet, from PSG, but you won't find an Arsenal fan who complains. Kai Havertz and Saka won 9 duels each versus PSG, the most by any player on the pitch. Merino's debut, he won possession 3 times, had 2 clearances, won 2 of the 3 tackles he contested in, and won 4 of his 6 duels in his 26 minutes. So yeah, big him up for that step in the right direction. Swear down. Bukayo Saka scored more free kicks than Mbappe in his career. Smells like an agenda's cooking to me. Saka for Arsenal, he's got 60 goals, 56 assists, and you got to bear in mind, he started at left back. My star boy. Kai Havertz has 10 goals and assists in the Champions League, 2 assists and 8 goals. Keep it up, everyone. Keep it up. Most assists in Europe's top 5 leagues. Saka, Alex Bornau, Yalmao, and João Neves. He had a very good game, that João Neves guy for PSG. I feel he's one of their better players, are all on 5. You look at Saka's game by numbers against PSG, 58 touches, completed 23 of his 30 passes, won 9 duels, as we said, had 7 touches in the up box, completed the most take-ons with 3, had 2 shots, 2 fouls, 2 tackles, 1 chance created, 1 goal. Fair enough. Pick him up for that, people. Allegedly, Real Madrid are reportedly open to selling Tchouaméni for around 66 million next summer, with Liverpool, the club most likely to try to sign the midfielder. I mean, Real Madrid know what they're doing, but considering this is a quality centre midfielder who's played in defence for you, I don't buy this. But if they are, Arsenal, we need to get in the front of the queue. The recruitment drive at Arsenal hasn't stopped. Allegedly, we are plotting to sign St. Mirren sensation Marcelo de Barros as he heads to the Londoners for a trial. Now, I don't know anything, but I assume he's Scottish, and St. Mirren's obviously a Scottish club, and we've bought a couple Irish guys, we're getting a couple Scottish guys, etc., etc. Surely he's not just Scottish. Fair enough. Real Madrid should go and get Rodri. They were linked with him. They're trying to get him, but obviously with Rodri now, he's obviously got that injury, which has probably thrown a spanner in the works. The under-15s defender is highly rated in Scotland, and his potential has brought him onto the radar of a number of top Premier League clubs. Arsenal have offered to take the left-sided centre-back on trial, so he's a centre-back, so they can look at him at close quarters after he impressed their scouts. The Premier League giants were among a number of clubs who watched De Barros in action for Scotland's under-15s in the tournament in Serbia at the back end of last month. Fair enough. It'd be nice if they put a picture there. Fair enough. But yeah, man, that's him, innit, people? Apparently, Arsenal and Chelsea are both scouting Hoffenheim's Max Morstedt. We've done a video on the 18-year-old before. I mean, get the best players. Camavinga or Brahim Diaz, I'm all for it. I mean, you got more chance of getting Tchouaméni. If they were dumb enough to put Camavinga up for sale, get him tomorrow, I think Diaz would be a good little player for Arsenal, man. He's not Trossard, but the Trossard kind of thing, you could play on the right, play in the 10, play out wide. Obviously, Mikel Arteta must have crossed paths with him when he was at City. And to be honest with you, he's one of the best players I've watched at youth level at the time, because I remember there was a game at the Emirates between Manchester City and Arsenal. That Diaz guy tore our players an absolute new one up. I'm sure Sancho was there. Apparently, Arsenal still want to sign Vlahovic, but he's not keen on the move to England. TBR Football understands Arsenal admirers of Vlahovic, who they bid before he joined Juventus. However, he's not at the head of the list. The Gunners have never really believed that he wanted to come to England, and it remains to be seen if that has changed. TBR is told that he's still on the list, but as it stands, they're not desperate to bring a striker in January. We all know we're not bringing no striker in until the end of the season. We understand Vlahovic won't move in January, so we'll have the season with Thiago Motta, and then both sides will assess the situation next summer. Apparently, he's available for 66 million. Apparently, we're also interested in Jonathan David, who could be available for 20 million. Based on the fact he's out of contract, I wouldn't mind signing him based on the fact that he's out of contract. If he hits it off, great. If not, we make some profit, if I'm honest. Shout yourself, Oslo. If Jesus left, perfect along with striker, and he's better than Sterling. I'm not sure what you mean there, my dude. And is it just me? But Calafiori, I knew I wasn't making this up. He therefore... Was it one of them drinks that they use, or was it a vape? Like, I'm sure Calafiori did. And we know them Italian players, they love a cheeky cig. Listen, Calafiori, you keep playing like this, you can do what you want. Do what you want. And come on, man, them footballers definitely do them things. Apparently, Arsenal scouts are keeping a close eye on the progress of Valencia's Christian Mosquera, Nancy's Nathan Zeze, and Girona's Mikel Gutierrez, victories of Palmeiras. You lot violated. You lot did not watch the video, the tactical video I did of Victor Rez people. So go and look at that. We know we've been linked with Gyökeres before. And in case if anyone don't know what these guys look like, there you have it. We love a defender, innit? Do we really need more defenders? Vlahovic is yesterday's news. He did not want to come to us. Arteta always choose players that want to join us. Once you burn us once, we're not the team that's going to go back for you. That's why I don't doubt that We still like Vlahovic. We still like Zubamendi. There's therefore another guy that done this to us, Locatelli. But once you burn us before, what's the point going back? If Gyökeres goes on to score more goals, they'll end up asking for more than 100 million. His release clause is 100 million, though. So unless they rework his contract and do something new in that regard, they can completely forget about it, if I'm honest. And we're going to have to see him. Apparently, Merino believes the freak injury he suffered in his first training session with Arsenal was a blessing in disguise. I'm not sure about that, my dude. But yeah, big you up. He said, to come in here, you want to have a nice few days to show everyone what you are capable of, to show why they put faith in you. And then the first thing that happens is you break your scapula. Damn. It's tough to recover from that mentally. Everyone here in the club was really nice to me, really lovely. You can feel the support and love of everybody. It was such an unlucky moment. If you see the action, it's just, I haven't seen an injury like this ever in my career. But well, these are things that happen. Obviously, it was not the best timing, but at the same time, I like to look at the pros and the bright side of it. This gave me a lot of time to think, to get to know my teammates, to get to know the staff, to work on myself, the things that I need to do better in terms of tactics, in terms of physicality. And I think I'm a much better player now than I was 4 weeks ago. Fair play, really and truly. On Arteta and everything with Arsenal, he said it's something that is amazing, to be honest with you. They do some things that I've never seen in my career. The methods they use are completely new to me. So obviously it takes some time to adapt. I don't want to tell everything that we do, but there is no rest between one moment and the other. They're always challenging you mentally with different stimulus. I don't know, people. It makes you always all the time aware of what is happening around you. I think that when you get it, you are in a different level because they challenge you every single day, not only physically but mentally. That makes you be sharp mentally, and that's what you are going to find out in the game. Fair enough. And then he said winning trophies is the main thing here for everyone. They're obsessed with that. You can see that winning is the main thing for us. Hopefully that correlates into winning. The mentality that they have here is amazing, not only on the pitch, but at the training ground, and how they focus on single things, the details, the basics. The basics will set you free. When I spoke to Mikel and I saw what was the plan, not only with me, but the whole team, what the culture was here, I felt this was the right place to be to take the next step in my career. I want to grow up. I want to learn even more. I think this is the right place to keep improving and keep winning. Fair play. Once Jesus leaves or Gabby, Brian Diaz would be a perfect option and could fill many areas, as you said. Amen. I would take Diaz, but the thing with Diaz, them kind of players, did they really want to leave Real Madrid? Like, Real Madrid's the pinnacle of world football. You're getting a bunch of trophies. He clearly knows his role. Like, you can get game time, you can do your thing, but when you've got Rodrigo and Mbappe, you know, all of them will be here all day, naming Vinicius, all of them guys, you know, you're not leaving. If they say you're available, then I want Arsenal to be at the front of the queue, if I'm honest with you. Apparently, Arsenal showed keen interest in Sesko in the summer window. As we know, people, we all know he signed a new deal. What's been on here? By increasing the clause, I believe he becomes an almost unattainable object for our teams, for age, talent, for interest of English teams. In my opinion, he made the right choice by staying at Leipzig because he's a player with enormous potential, but perhaps not yet fully ready for a top level team. It'd be difficult to see him in Italy. He seems to me to be a classic player who unfortunately has now gone for our championship. Fair enough. Arsenal looked like they would bring him to England already last summer when the player also made the choice to stay at Leipzig for another season. Arsenal, the team that observed him most closely and made an important financial offer to Leipzig. In my opinion, it's difficult to give a price now because Sesko's performances directly affect the price. I believe that next summer he will not go below 70 to 80 million euros. So that's about 60 odd million quid. So I think that's still right up Arsenal Street. He does a lot of good even more. He was struggling the last few weeks, but he's found himself again. We probably won't go for Briam, but hopefully this Wirtz links are true. I think the links with our interest in Florian Wirtz is true, but again, he's going to be like 100 million. You've got the Bayern Munich. Real Madrid surely have to be at the front of the queue. And what player turns down Real Madrid, really and truly? I mean, Toni Kroos, as we speak, is probably gassing him up, you know, from one more experienced German to another. Wirtz is going to be amazing. Shout out Ian Wright, but we're not here for what you have to say about Martinelli right now. Florian Wirtz will sign for Real Madrid, according to ex-Bayern Munich director Michael, I can't say that. He's under contract until 2027. And for me, it's a hot take, but I think Xabi Alonso after Carlo Ancelotti is the next Real Madrid manager. And I think they sign Zubamendi and Wirtz personally. People would love to sign Wirtz. We're still credited with an interest. But the dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Let's start closing a bit of these tabs. Tab police always get on to me. I like to think I'm getting better at this. like to think I'm getting way better at this. So yeah, what have we got here? Saka has told his Arsenal teammates that they are a team that needs to win something this season and cannot afford to build a reputation for coming up short. He clearly didn't say like Tottenham Hotspur, but I hear it, my man. You got to get the engagement. Let me see exactly what Saka said. This season, there's a lot of hunger in my belly. In previous years, we have been runners up a lot. So it's just that spirit in me that I want to win this season. That is where the confidence is coming from. I believe in myself, and that is driving me forward. Pick him up on that, man. We need to win stuff. I must admit, I thought there'd be a bit more than what we saw there, but credit to Saka for at least saying that. What's this? 4 clubs. There are only 4 clubs with a realistic chance of signing Wirtz, according to German media. Blind say there are only 4 clubs that have a realistic shot at securing his signature right now: Arsenal, Manchester City, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. City will put the money down. I think their dream is to get a bit like what Bayern want, is to get Musiala and Wirtz. City will put the money down. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. Bayern, naturally, being the biggest German club about, you want the biggest German talents. And then you've got Arsenal, in which, boy, slap him in the 8, man. I think Merino is good, but I don't think he's on Partey's level. Partey's a quality player, so there's no slight on that. And I was having this debate with, video to come out at 9 p.m. with Cecil people. Obviously, I think we'd all agree, at least the plan was maybe not for Partey to necessarily be dropped and obviously get game time and whatnot, but the plan was probably Martin Odegaard, Merino and Rice. And I still think that is one. But on current form and what they're doing, I don't believe in dropping Declan Rice. I think it's like the team's a car, he's the seatbelt. And I just like having Declan Rice in the team. Yes, he can't break lines like Partey and all of that kind of crap, but he protects us on top of what we have in defense. Then you look at Partey. I think Partey's form has been quality this season. I think fans are giving him his flowers now, but I think that it has been there. It's always in the last year of a player's contract that they start kind of performing like this, innit, people? So if, Moreno is over all his injury issues, who comes out the team? I think it's Partey. But if it was based on what we've seen on the pitch, should it be Thomas Partey? It probably shouldn't, people, if I'm honest with you. But good problems, man. Good problems to have. I don't think Real Madrid need any more attacking players, defense, if anything. They're going to sign a defender. And to be fair with you, Wirtz is a central midfielder. They're going to have to get rid. Well, Modric's gone after this year. Kroos is gone. They want Wirtz. They'll make it happen. But you're right. They do have Arda Güler, a couple other players. And Wirtz is an adaptable player. I think he'll be an 8, but he can play as an 8, play as a 10, play as a false 9, play off the flanks. Yeah, man. I think we'll be resting Partey a lot more. He won't be playing 90-minute games. To be fair, Partey has done very well for us to not get injured and play these 90-minute games. But you are right. That's obviously, it was a bit of it was probably tactical. But if Moreno's not on that bench, I think Partey plays 90 minutes tomorrow. So naturally, and I don't want too many changes for Southampton. But you could argue, could Merino get a start there? Could Ethan get a start there? Who plays at fullback? Again, that's something we're going to have to wonder. Me, I want to name the strongest team. And if the strongest team that went out there yesterday is available, I want to do that again. Then if anything, people can get minutes because the 3 points is all that matters first and foremost, people. What have we got here? Join me at 7 p.m, people. It's Arsenal fan show business. I've got the guys with me. I'm tired of offering my thoughts, so I asked them theirs. And as I said here, Calafiori and Timber, are they our best fullbacks? And at 9 p.m, big up my guy Cecil. Cecil will be on the platform. Me and him did a video earlier. So yeah, Jorginho will barely play if everybody is fit. We should have sold in this transfer window. I disagree because I think Jorginho is well aware of his role in the team. You're not going to get that many minutes. I don't like to really waffle about how big a player is off the field and all of that stuff because 1, I'm not there. 2, I think that's something we do, but he's clearly seen as an extended member of the coaching staff, as shown with City. He's clearly an experienced head and he's clearly loved in the dressing room. I think Partey will go before him purely because Jorginho's wages are probably nowhere near his. So yeah, I don't advocate selling Jorginho. If we woke up and we signed 2 blockbuster centre mids, then it is what it is. But yeah, I wouldn't have cut him, man. Really and truly. And to be fair, there are a couple of games this season. We've seen it against Liverpool and against City over the last 2-3 years. There's a couple of circumstances that quite simply Jorginho's in his element. If I'm brutally honest, man. So yeah, we'll have to see, man. It'll be interesting. Is there anything else Arsenal related before I let you lot get out of here and not waste your time? No, it's just PSG have been linked with trying to make Mikel Arteta their manager. Good luck, man. Good luck. And even Perez is, ran and got a selfie with Saka. Hope Saka didn't remind you of what you said about Doku. Afternoon, right back at you, my dude. So yeah, with that being said, there's no point wasting any more of your time, people, man. So yeah, it is what it is. Been a great day. Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to join me again at 7 p.m. and also at 9 p.m. God bless you all. Again, if I haven't seen you lot since October's kicked off, new month, new blessings. I hope October is even better than September, and I hope you all have a strong end to the year. On that note, peace.
Because you always just like, when like,